Good evening and welcome to the Nevis Newscast. Today is Tuesday, 21st March 2017. I'm Fredicia Liebert. The Nevis Disaster Management Department hosted a tsunami exercise for at-risk areas earlier today. Supervisor of the Charlestown Preschool, Lisa Lee, gave her thoughts on the exercise.
We were given a call, and we had to make our way, evacuate the building so that we can get the children to safe ground. Our safe zone was at Boko Park, and this morning we had, with us leaving the building, we had 55 children and 10 teachers, and we all made it safely in approximately 12 minutes to the safe ground area. But overall, I think that the children had a good experience with it, and I think that if in the event that there is a tsunami here in Nevis, that they would respond appropriately.
School safety officer at the Charlestown Secondary School, Kermani Webb, spoke of the importance of the exercise.
These exercises are very important as we try to educate the students that these things, we don't get a warning when we have these things. Like, for example, in hurricanes, we get a forecast maybe like 3 days before it hits us, but earthquakes, they just come. Like a thief in the night, they just come. So we just try to get the students to be aware, and the most important thing is they have to be calm. They know that they keep calm in situations like this so that they don't have a disaster before the actual disaster strikes. So this drill, I think it is very important, as if we follow the news, we know that we are having some series of earthquakes around the Caribbean, and according to the experts, we are due for a major earthquake. And even though we have all the technology available to us now, we still can't predict when an earthquake will strike. So I think this exercise is very important, and of course, we will have more exercises like this magnitude in the future.
Various other schools and institutions took part in the exercise and evacuated to their various safe places, including the Maud Cross Preparatory and Charlestown Primary School, Nevis Academy, Happy Kids Nursery, Stepping Stone Daycare, the Bank of Nevis Limited, and CIBC First Caribbean International Bank, the Four Seasons and Orly Beach Resorts, and the Nisbet Plantation Inn. Amateur archaeologists are invited to join the second public archaeology dig at New River Estate, which began yesterday, Monday 20th March, and will conclude on Friday 24th March. Communications Officer and host of the Ministry of Tourism's News Extra, Sheila James, spoke about the activity.
The week-long project will be held daily from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Rollinson will instruct the volunteer archaeologists in the process of digging for artefacts, sifting through dirt, possibly identifying them and labelling the items. New River, the last functioning sugar plantation on Nevis, dates back to the 1700s. The Nevis Island Administration and the Nevis Historical Conservation Society, NHCS, will be opening a visitors centre at the New River and to provide information for visitors about the site and sugar production on the island.
This year, the volunteers are from Caribbean Volunteer Expeditions, CVE, which was founded 2 decades ago by Nevis architect Anne Hirsch. CVE volunteers assist local historical groups and national trusts throughout the Caribbean. Volunteer archaeologists should come prepared to work in sunny conditions and should wear hats, sunscreen, sunglasses, and bring water, lunch, and snacks for the day. Extra water and restrooms will be available at the Visitors Center at the site. Interested persons should contact the Nevis Historical and Conservation Society to register at 469-5786. The Nevis Island Administration will host a small business symposium at the St. Paul's Anglican Church Hall on Thursday, 23rd March, beginning at 9 a.m. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Finance, Colin Dorr, outlined some of the topics that will be covered.
So a whole section will be devoted to small business and the law, getting them to understand the legal ramifications of some of the decisions that they make on a day-to-day basis. We'll also focus on marketing. How do we use social media as an effective tool to get their products out to the various customers? We'll also have a representative from the lending institution who will deal with small loans and how to manage and also to keep the obligation as it relates to the repayment of loan and to keep the credit standing in good order.
Dewar also stated that small business owners will also give testimonials at the symposium.
All small businesses started somewhere. There's always a story behind the starting of a small business. Whether it's somebody who would have lost their job and decide to now go and do something for themselves and they become successful, or a lot of time it's family tradition which has been carried on. So part of the panel would be a successful small business operator, and we have started to look for someone, not in the regular buying and selling, but someone who was creative in creating a niche market and now has turned their business into a very successful small business.
The permanent secretary then implored persons to attend the business symposium.
I'm taking this opportunity to invite all small business persons to come out next week, Thursday, the 23rd, at the St. Paul's Anglican Church Hall, and let's have a discussion and a dialogue in terms of how we can push small business forward and continue to make a viable entity in the economy of Nevis.
The Small Business Symposium will be held at the St. Paul's Anglican Church Hall on Thursday, 23rd March, beginning at 9 a.m. Still to come, Youth Policy Initiative enters final stages. The details are right after this break.
Hi Nevis, this is your girl Destra, aka Lucy, aka the Queen of Bacchanal, and I will be in Nevis this week, the 22nd of March, for the International Women's Day Rally. Be bold for change. See you there.
As a responsible taxpayer, you help to finance free health care at all health centers on Nevis. Thank you for putting country above self. This message was brought to you by the Inland Revenue Department, Nevis. Be a responsible citizen.
Welcome back. The draft federal youth policy is going through a thorough review from members of the steering committee to ensure that it is in keeping with the goal of being a modern developmental tool that establishes priorities for the youth population of St. Kitts and Nevis. The latest review session was held on Friday, 17th March at the Parliamentary Lounge at Government Headquarters. The meeting was chaired by Vernon Connor, Special Advisor to the Minister of Youth, while youth expert Dwinette Eversley walked committee members through some of the chapters of the discussion draft policy and the accompanying goals and strategies. Connor said he was pleased with the process to date, having had a number of consultative sessions with public and private sector officials and other members of civil society, including youth groups, youth-serving agencies, and young people throughout the Federation. Connor mentioned that the final draft is being amended along the way by committee members to ensure that it is in line with strategic goals set by the federal government and the Nevis Island administration, as well as regional and international agencies. A final consultation will be held at the end of the month to present the revised draft to stakeholders in one setting. The youth advisor promised that details for the national symposium are being finalized and will be shared at a later date.
Usual, we're gonna have the beef, mutton, pork, pig foot, deboned cattle head, deboned pig head, goat head. Well, there you have the different choice cuts in terms of beef. The processed product, as usual, we have 3 pork sausages: breakfast sausage, spicy Italian, and a summer sausage. Ground chicken. We have ground pork, ground beef, beef burgers, chicken burgers, the pork bacon, and the other stuff that people like, tripe, goat head, and that sort of stuff.
Manager of the Abattoir Division in the Department of Agriculture, Gary Griffin, speaking about the products that would be available for purchase on Thursday 30th and Friday 31st March at the Agriculture Open Day. Griffin also implored the public to come out and support the Open Day at the Villa Grounds in Charlestown.
Normally at Open Day, Abattoir booth, we normally get a rush, especially on the first day. So I'm really looking forward for the public support. I know they normally come out and show us, their good support. We're going to have all the stuff that you need. What you don't see, you could ask for any questions in terms of preparation of our products and anything. Just feel free, ask us. Like I said, whatever you don't see, we could provide it. So just come out and support us.
Manager of the Abattoir Division at the Department of Agriculture, Gary Griffin. That's it for this edition of the Nevis Newscast. On behalf of all of us here at the Department of Information, I'm Fredicia Liebert. Thank you for viewing.